South Florida's natural habitats like the sawgrass marshes and wetlands at the Arthur R. Marshall Loxahatchee National Wildlife Refuge offer a look at what the state's landscape has historically been.
We love to come out here weekly to see the wonderful nature that's here, the wildlife, the beauty of the place. There's hundreds of thousands of acres of the way Florida used to be, with the birds and the animals, and so we come out and paint and enjoy the wildlife. It's a breath of fresh air, away from the traffic, away from the noise, away from the cell phones. And while we're painting, time stops.
But beyond the beauty is a much deeper meaning. The central question is this: how can South Florida accommodate its growing population without sacrificing its natural habitats? The Loxahatchee National Wildlife Refuge, a crucial component of the Everglades ecosystem, is a prime example of what's at stake. To understand what considerations factor into that discussion, I spoke with environmental scientist Tara Barty, who studies environmental restoration.
Water comes from there. The majority of water in South Florida comes from there. And when it doesn't come directly, it's being recharged. All of our aquifers are being recharged by the Everglades. So when we started ditching and draining the Everglades so that we can all live here, we severely impacted our ability to sustain ourselves as a little, microcosm of Florida, being South Florida.
And what happens if the Everglades were to be completely gone? What would happen then, and why is it so important that we preserve what's left?
Preserving it just for the sake of preserving it is worth it. However, the finer details of it is protection from storms. It is, and anything that comes through the south or anything that comes over from the west, it is a fundamental breeding habitat. It would pollute Florida Bay to an unmeasurable degree.
Developers argue that developing brings houses, jobs, and is great for the economy. But conservationists warn of the irreversible damage. Along US 441, the contrast is clear. On one side, miles of housing. On the other, preserved land stretches out. The good news, they can coexist. When projects are placed in appropriate areas and built with sustainable practices in mind, communities can expand while still protecting the environment and guarding natural landscape.
You can have it in towns. So when you're sustainable, green and LEED certification for building and development, Audubon's done great with having Audubon certifications for golf courses. So most things, when people want to, can be developed in such a more sustainable manner. And then you can have that coexisting and interwoven relationship, because we're here. We're not going anywhere.
I'm Delaney Smith for iPulse TV News.